So I'm Montel from Triple M Enterprise. I'm delighted to be joined by one of the unsung heroes, Frank Smith. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. What I want to talk about is something slightly different again, as you know, we did in the first interview. Let's talk about the Matchroom documentary. How was that for you, that whole experience of being mic'd up and filmed the whole time?
Yeah, very different. You know, it's very odd having a microphone on all the time, having conversations, and then you forget everything's being recorded. So it makes it a bit awkward actually talking to people because they don't realise you've got a mic on. But it's part of the show. It's what makes it real. And you saw some real moments in there. You know, you saw some moments of madness, moments of tempers. Makes it interesting. It's what people want to see.
And one of the first times we spoke actually was at the Dave Allen vs Fisher 2 fight, and you didn't like doing as much media back then, but it seems like you've really embraced it now since the rebrand. How's that been?
To be honest, I've never liked it as in made it a conscious decision to do media. It's part of my job, and it's something you only get better at the more and more you do. And unfortunately, your mistakes are all there to be seen. So I've made enough mistakes in my time, and now I'm quite calm and relaxed to do this as much as needed. But I don't go out of my way to do it.
I know we always come and pressure you, but let's talk about the rebrand as well. The rebrand's a massive thing that's happened. Like, what was the thought process behind it? I know there's a lot of people involved, but from your point of view, what was involved to make it happen?
Look, I felt like our brand wasn't something that really, people recognise or resonated with. I think we felt like we needed a change. Sometimes you need to step back, look at things from an outsider's perspective rather than just getting complacent, thinking you're the best thing since sliced bread. I feel like it's gone down brilliantly, and it's more than just a logo. It's everything we do. It's everything that we deliver around the events. As you've seen, there's been so many changes because we want to take this sport forward. It's a sport that I feel has been stuck in the dark ages at times, and it needs to always be progressed, and that's our duty to do.
Yeah, and you've made definitely a massive leaps and bounds across the whole of social media, not just that, but the way everything's presented, like you said. What are some of the other changes that we're expecting to see upcoming?
But the key is we've got to deliver great fights. That's what it comes down to. We're working on a lot of stuff, though, still around the rebrand. We're actually launching a clothing brand very soon, a couple of versions, which will be interesting. It's just using our platform and our brand now and taking things to the next level. Again, I go back to the point, it's about not getting complacent, not sitting still. It would be quite easy to sit still and go, well, we've done it now. But we want to continue to take the sport to a whole new level, not just in the UK, but on a global level.
Perfect, and actually global is what I wanted to get onto. You've got a lot of fighters from the South Asian side of things as well. Would you look at potentially having a Matchroom fight in India?
For sure. We've had conversations about Nishant Dev. We signed from the Olympics about fights in India. That's something we definitely look at. We want to do fights all around the world. Our schedule that we got coming up, our schedule that's going to be announced is shows all out over the world. No one else is doing what we're doing with a show with 10,000 people in Sheffield tomorrow night, 10,000 people in Philadelphia. People don't do that, and that's always been the aim for us as a business.
Yeah, and you can definitely see the change that's happened. Talk to me about some, obviously, look, let's talk about this card. This card is absolutely stacked from head to toe. What are some of the fights you think that the fans really need to pay attention to other than the main event?
I think obviously the Junaid Boston-Bilal Fawaz fight is a brilliant fight. We saw it the first time around. This one will be no different, in terms of the way it's going to kick off. It means a lot to both of them. I think, I've said a few times, Junaid Boston looks a lot calmer. Looks a lot more chilled as an individual now, looks to have matured a lot, and I think that's what he needs in this fight. But Bilal Fawaz will look at this, as he should, as his opportunity to change his life and get himself big nights. So I think he's in, I think Junaid's in for a tough night, but I believe Junaid can do the business.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a fight to look out for. And obviously Reece Bellotti, like, how on earth did that fight with Josh Bradley get organised, agreed and signed the deal?
Move quickly. I think you're going to see a better Reece Bellotti than probably you saw in the Ghana fight. Look, Ghana was very good that night. But I think, Reece realises this will kind of be his last chance, I think. But Josh is in great form. He had a great win back in April, I think it was. He had the Shakur fight before that. And I think it's the kind of fight Josh needs, as he steps on in the levels, to keep him moving forward, and then big fights in 2026.
Yeah, and I can't let you go without talking about your new acting stint as part of the SWAT team. Talk to you about that. How on earth did you get roped into that?
Jason Statham was busy, so they said, do you mind coming in? I said, look, to be compared to Jason, I'll do it. Whatever you need. No, people think that I put myself in a promo. Alex Haynes said to me, I want you to come in this promo. And I thought it was very strange, but I did it anyway. So, there you go.
No, of course. And look, I really appreciate your time. Look forward to catching up with you again, and always a pleasure, Frank.
Good to see you,
Before we finish, though, I just remembered we have an agreement about some golf. If you remember that.
Yeah, we need to play.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm going to smash you up.
Good luck. No worries. Thank you, man.
Cheers, mate.
Always a pleasure.